everyone, we have a special treat for you. We're kind of going to shout because of the road. Sorry about the noise. This is Grace. What happens with harness fitting is that a lot of people use harnesses instead of training. And what I want people to do is to learn how to train their dog not to pull. So this right here is a rough wear harness. And so this is already set to fit Grace. And so we're gonna put isn't Grace cute? She's very well behaved. She's like my most well-behaved patient. I think I'm gonna keep her. So we're gonna put it over the head. And some dogs, you know, don't like to wear a harness. Sometimes they feel like they're bad when you go to put a harness on. So I want you guys to think about how to positively reinforce for harness fit. That is to say that you put the harness just over the neck and then you take it off and give them a cookie and walk away. And then, so let's see. So we're gonna put this one on and we're gonna talk about 2 places that we want to attach the harness. And then we're going to bring in somebody who's volunteering at the Humane Society who walks a lot of dogs that pull and dogs that you can't train because you're working at the Humane Society, right? So sometimes you're just in a predicament. And what do? You want to do the front attach. This one has a front attach right now. So you want to do a front attach, and ideally you want to do a front attach and you also want to do a back attach. So you have 2 points of contact. And let's see, let's bring in Lynn and we'll talk about this. What do you think, Lynn, about this? This rough wear is a nice one. It has what I want people to understand is that if harnesses don't fit right, then they can get cervical problems. That is to say the vertebrae right here can go out chiropractically and they can get shoulder problems. So they can also get problems right here. And this is why I don't recommend wearing a backpack. I don't like dogs with a backpack because it can hurt this part of the spine. So I want this neck and this shoulder to be free. I like the harness fit on Grace here because it doesn't pinch the shoulder right here. A lot of the ones that go straight over, and I'll show pictures of dogs that I don't think I like the harness as much, straight overs, I think like Halties, and there's some other ones. And what that does is it pinches the shoulder. All the point of contact is around the shoulders. We do not want that. We want the point of contact. We want the part that is going to bear the brunt of anything to be on the sternum, right here, and possibly right here. So what do you think, Lynn, about that?
2 points of contact does help a dog not pull as much because there's more communication between you and the dog you're walking. So we attach a leash here, and ideally we would have a 2-headed leash, but I don't have one with me today. So we're going to attach 2 separate leashes, which granted is harder to maneuver. You can get used to it though if you don't have a 2-headed leash. And then there's more communication between you and the dog. And
so are you kind of working it with like reins? And is this one going to be like loose like that? Or is it ever like this?
It depends on what the dog is doing and how you're communicating. You'll get the hang of it when you try it. It's hard to explain, actually.
Okay, so 2 points of contact. We've got the reins. So what happens if Grace here sees another dog and wants to pull?
You gently pull on the front leash,
and you also turn your toes. If the dog's coming from there, you turn your toes and you work the vectors, don't you?
Yes.
So we're going to go vector this way, we're going to go vector that way, and we're going to get her that all our attention goes there. Because what happens a lot of times is we see a dog that Grace wants to chase that way, and what do? Oh, we go to that dog, and we want to know, oh, I see a dog. You know what? Instead of, I don't really like them to just think like sit. Oh my gosh, sit, 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 sit. That doesn't work. We're going to work the vectors. We're going to go that way, right? We're going to see an imaginary white elephant over there.
And turning with a treat. Turning with a treat in your hand doesn't hurt either.
Turning with a treat. So how would you work the back leash if Grace sees a dog there?
I would pull on both leashes at the same time, gently, and work the vectors, as you said.
Okay.
I would use both.
Okay.
But more of the pressure on the front.
So let's talk about other harnesses maybe that don't fit Grace as well. What do you think? Again, this is a rough wear. It's not like I only like rough wears. I like all kinds of. Tell me what harnesses you like.
This is a freedom harness,
Okay.
which works very much the same way. Gives you 2 possible points of contact. This goes on back.
Okay, you can go ahead and do it.
So again, I would use a treat to put this over her head gently.
Right.
It fits very much the same as the rough wear, but the straps are skinnier, and it has a velvet belly strap, which is very nice for bully breeds who don't have much hair on their bellies. Very soft.
So this is called the Freedom No Pull.
Yes.
And tell me why it's called the Freedom No Pull.
Unfortunately, this is not fitted exactly for her. I thought it was. I apologize.
No, that's
this.
right. This is too far forward.
Yes, this is
Okay.
too far forward.
That's okay.
Over her shoulders, and
It
the belly
fits
strap is too big.
Enough for the video.
It's called a no-pull freedom harness because, technically speaking, like with the rough wear, when you have 2 points of contact, it allows for more communication between you and the dog and which way you want them to go. The freedom manufacturers believe that the tightening of the back helps when you want to pull them in a different
I
direction.
see what happens. You pull here, and these two come together.
Yes.
So they feel a tiny bit of pressure here.
Yes.
So how do you work pressure and release with that, though?
To,
Because dogs
again-
learn on pressure and release.
2 leashes, and when they turn in the direction you want them to go, you let up on the pressure.
That one you relax the pressure on.
Yes.
So you relax the pressure on the back one. So
Yes.
if we did it like that, and then this, so your main point of contact is here, and then this one you're using as a little bit of pressure, which puts a little bit of pressure back here. Again, these are velvet covered, soft.
Yes.
So you can actually go, please come with me, and if they don't, then you can use your front attach, because your front attach is going to be more stronger, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. And then you were going to show me about a belt collar and why that's so bad. Well, we can talk about it if you don't. Don't worry. My videos are laid back. Can we print that one?
Let me see. I think so.
And don't worry, you're not. We can
Okay.
always cut things.
To me, this is the worst kind of collar in the world.
Okay,
Take it away.
we don't like it. Why don't we like it, Lynn?
Why?
Yep.
Because the belt buckle attachment, fastener, if your dog gets caught on something with her collar,
Yep.
the only way you can get the collar off,
Is to tighten it more.
exactly. Just like when you're wearing a belt.
So if it's a tight collar and now she's caught, she's straining, and now you have to tighten it more. And there's dogs that die from that, right?
Yes, the only way to unattach this is to pull it and pull it tighter to get this out. And unfortunately, the woman who donated this collar to me to use for videos had a dog who did die when her 2 dogs were playing and one of the dog's jaws got caught around
So
the
they
collar.
can get caught here, they can get caught here. The tooth can get caught, they can get caught on a piece of furniture or something sharp or anything like that. And the dog's been stuck.
Her 2 dogs were playing, the dog got his jaws caught around the other dog's collar, and nobody could get the collar off or cut through it in time, and the dog choked out and died.
See,
It happens all the time.
So belt collars, we're gonna not use belt collars.
Dangerous.
So let's show that on Grace. Isn't she well behaved?
She's the best.
She's a good. Okay, so if we have a belt collar, remember we don't like belt collars. Then if this dog got caught on something, then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to tighten this more, choking the dog more to get it off, right?
If you
That's
can
what we're
even-
talking about.
Even if you can do that, if the dog
If the
will
dog's
let you.
if the dog's like tight on something, he's going to be panicking and oh, how awful. So be careful, everybody. This is important stuff. What we're talking about. It's really a matter of life and death, I think.
When I see these collars come into the shelter on any dog, I throw them away immediately.
It's a lot of money in collars.
Not really.
They're not
They're
too expensive.
They're not. They're not.
Maybe
So
that's why people do them.
I feel no qualms about throwing them away whatsoever.
Okay. What do we got here?
This is a martingale, which is good
Ah.
for dogs that have a slender head and neck, and in whom a traditional collar may
This
pull
kind you
off
think is
too
okay
easily.
because all we have to do is go like that to
This
take
is
it off.
called a quick release, yeah.
Okay, let's do it with Grace.
So this is fitted for her. I can get my hand under, but because she has, you know, decent ears and a decent sized head, it would be hard for her to slip out of this. But if she had a more slender head and neck, this would be a better idea for her, just because sometimes I like to attach the leash to the collar and the harness. I never use just the collar.
How does this martingale work? So can you just use it by itself, or do you have to use it with something else?
I don't like to use it by itself. I don't believe in
It's
using
too
collars
tight.
by themselves at all because of damage that you told me about.
Yeah. So
It can
this
happen.
kind could cause a cervical subluxation at C3, meaning they can actually rupture a disc in their neck, and it could be life-threatening or need surgery because of a collar. But I like the pressure and release possibility in this martingale if you were to use it correctly, right?
Yes, but I don't even trust myself to keep
Really?
the dog from getting hurt on a
So
collar.
you don't think we should use martingales?
Well, not by themselves. I like them in conjunction with a harness, which I can show you.
Yeah, let's do it. This is great that you're doing this, taking the time from your busy schedule as a volunteer at the shelter. Right now we have way too many dogs at the shelter, guys. Way too many, like record numbers. And they're beautiful, purebred dogs. We have them at Whatcom County. What about the other shelters across the country?
It's much the same everywhere right now.
It's post-pandemic dogs. Everyone kind of forgot, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to work one day and I'm not that into dogs. Like,
Or my puppy grew up and he's too big now.
it's like puppies grow, people. Okay, so let's see how to use the martingale with the harness.
So this is the Sensation harness. It's not my absolute favorite for reasons I'll go into, but it does have a front attachment that works very nicely with the martingale collar. So again, treat over your head. And this has a nice, very soft belly strap as well. Another reason I like it.
So it's a Sensation harness.
Sensation.
Okay, I can tell you why I don't like it, but only if you were just to front attach it,
Yes.
then I would like it better. Because why? Because the pressure would be on the sternum.
Yes.
But I don't like this. See how this cuts off this dog's shoulder?
And this
I don't know
is
if you can
not
see this,
fitted
Jeff.
perfectly because of her odd shape. But yes, this is on top of her shoulders, which is not good.
This is going to compress the shoulder. It's going to cause my shoulder to go out. It's going to cause my C6, possibly my C5, my C6, my C7, my T1. They're all going to be going out with this kind of harness. And I just want you guys to realize that the difference. See the difference that this harness is going to cut this shoulder. This harness is going to cut this shoulder. But how do you use them together, Lynn? Do you need two leashes
No.
together?
No.
So this is with the martingale, it might work out better. Let's see.
Again, because of her shape, this is not the best harness for her anyway, but if it were a better fit, I would attach first to the collar and then down to the top of the ring of the harness. And that keeps the harness from sliding around as much, and again, gives a little more pressure in the right place if this were fitted better and were not right over her shoulders.
But what's the advantage of doing a martingale with this type of harness rather than just a regular quick release collar?
Because if she pulls, there's enough slack here that she will not get choked out. And
Okay.
it
This
makes
is the
it,
problem with prong collars.
and it, oh, don't even talk to me about prong collars. And it also makes it easier to double attach without pulling down on the collar too much because you have this extra loop of fabric.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that, Jeff. Where's the extra loop? Oh, this extra loop. Oh, this extra loop.
Right.
Okay. So this martingale attached to this front attach harness.
Right.
So what about using this martingale with one like the rough wear or something that fits
You could.
better?
The rough wear also has a front attach, so this could easily, this whole method works with any front attach harness, any of
Okay.
them. You can
I
use a
like that because there's a little bit of pressure and release there as well.
Here, right, but this is not as tight. You're not worried about choking the dog.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good.
Although, if a dog pulls hard enough, they're going to hurt themselves anyway. So
Right,
which
we're
is
trying
why
to
you have
do the
train
training, and
them.
I'm going to put that as part of the video. Yeah, not to pull. The most important thing is not to pull, right?
Yes.
Because if a dog doesn't pull, they could use just a regular, easy vest harness without a front attach.
Yes, but I don't recommend this kind for a big dog. This does fit her,
No.
but I use this kind only on small dogs, and I use the step through only on small dogs. But like I said, these are fitted for her, so we can show you how they work.
Okay, let's look at how they work. This is so great. And I just don't know how much time we have, but we are...
There's always editing.
Yes, editing is our best friend on videos, although I'll have to tell you that I'm not winning any awards for my editing.
But people learn a lot from your videos.
This sensation, one thing I don't like is where the buckle is. I don't like a buckle on the side behind my arm. How am I going to move my arm and not hit that buckle?
I'll show you on a different one, but in fact, we'll do that one now.
Okay.
This is what I think is a better version of that particular harness. This is called the Wonder Walker. And again, it doesn't work for all dogs.
Yeah, I have a lot of problems with Wonder Walkers, but sometimes it can help.
If it's fitted properly and if it works for that dog's body shape. I don't think it's great for Grace, but Grace eats too much and she's not active and she has a weird body shape, okay? So this ideally should go behind her shoulders, and it does a little bit, but not enough. And again, this is angled away from the backs of her legs because of the way they made it. The triangle here, the triangle instead of a circle, actually angles the strap away from the backs of her legs.
Yeah, I like that, but what I don't like is this, if the dog pulls.
And if it's not fitted properly. This is, again, not the best fit for her, but it's better than the Sensation was.
Yeah.
It's all about fitting for your dog's body shape, which makes it tricky. You have to do shopping.
So on the front attach, on the Wonder Walker, you guys at the shelter use a collar too.
Yes.
So because this moves around too much.
And this helps keep it in place.
Okay, so you guys are using martingales?
We use a lot of martingales and Wonder Walkers depending on the dog's body shape. I use a lot of the Freedom harnesses with the bully breeds because of the belly strap and the fit, because they're hard to adjust for.
Okay.
So this is the same theory as the last one where you attach this and this together. But again, the design is better because of the triangles and the angling away from the back.
So the triangle's good. I again have problems. At least this is above the shoulder. It's not right over the shoulder. So that's better. So
not as good as the rough wear though.
No, the rough wear is the best one.
And again, the rough wear is hard for certain dogs depending on their body shape. That's why we have to keep looking. Any dog that comes into the shelter, sometimes I end up trying 4 different harnesses before I find one that I like for them.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what's your okay, so tell me which harnesses you're trying. You're trying the Wonder Walker?
Yes.
The
Sensation, the Freedom, the rough wear. That's pretty much it.
Okay, that's what you guys have. Because there's the Cougar. I'll talk about
I
other
don't think
ones.
we have that. We rely a lot on donations, so we try
Yeah.
different harnesses that have been donated. And some of us volunteers do buy some too when we can.
Yeah.
This is a harness that I like for smaller dogs. It's fitted for her, but I would never walk a dog this big on this harness.
It's a Gooby or it's a
4-paws.
4-paws, yeah. I like this the best in terms of the shoulders. If the dog doesn't pull very much, but it has no front attach option. So it's just like going to be for that good little small dog that doesn't pull.
Or if the dog pulls, it's not going to hurt anything. And you're not going to get pulled over because the dog's 20 pounds.
We don't want people to get pulled over or have rotator cuff surgery.
Right. And if this dog pulls, you're going to feel it, and there's only one place to attach the leash.
If this dog pulls, it's going to happen. My shoulder's going to go out.
Don't talk to me about shoulders right now. Yeah. I have, yeah.
Okay. We won't
Okay.
talk about that.
So
this is, I like this fit though. I like the vest around the front, and it's not going to be as constrictive in one spot in front of the shoulder. I like that.
it's very safe, except for the person who's walking a dog who pulls hard.
Yes. So it's good to realize there's not one harness that works for everybody, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is called a step through, and this again is a good design for small dogs, not for a big dog like Grace. Getting it on a dog can be very tricky because they don't like having their feet picked up. And again,
They can train for that.
that's true. It clips on the back, and again, it's going to encourage them to pull. But if they're small,
If they're small and they don't pull,
Then it's
or they're
okay.
old, maybe they're old. Okay, so it doesn't fit Grace very well because we have this doesn't give, the material doesn't give like this material gives. Softer,
Yeah.
and it like has some stretchiness
It's
to
very
it.
stretchy.
This one is like very constrictive in the shoulders. But again, it might work for some dogs.
Again, we're using these just to demo a type of harness. They're not good for big dogs like her. And I think we're almost done, my
Do you ever
dear.
get a dog where there is no harness that's going to work?
Yes. I will never forget the escape artist, Dinah, I think was her name. A little dog that we had to put 2 harnesses on, one on top of each other, because she pulled out of every single harness we ever put on her. I tried, I swear.
These are called
10.
flight risk dog.
Huge.
Flight risks.
Huge. She was little. I tried 10 harnesses, none of them. She slipped out of every single one, no matter how snug.
Oh my
so we
gosh.
put 2, one on top of the
Yes.
other, and attached them in 2 different places so she could not. Yes, she got adopted. I'm sure she's fine wherever she is. She was crazy.
Oh.
This is a very different kind of harness, but again, it works well.
What's this one called?
For some, it is called, I've never heard of this brand until I saw this harness, Canine Equipment.
Canine Equipment. Okay.
Again,
There's like thousands of harnesses, I think.
there are.
More
And
and more all the time.
this one has 2 points of contact. You can use either one or both together. And I'm not sure if this is fitted for her. I hope so. I should have been more prepared. Again, this is not the best.
That's
harness
okay.
for Grace.
It's not the best for Grace, but we're just showing it.
That's right.
It's good to show, like, so, because people are going to spend, how much money are people going to spend on harnesses they're going to not use?
Well, a good
lot.
pet store will let you go in with your dog and try on different harnesses without the risk of commitment. And a lot of good stores will let you bring a harness back.
Okay, what I like about this is the front attach is supported through a vest. And it's not a huge vest like a rough wear. Some dogs get overheated and they won't walk. So I like that front attach, but I don't, again, I'm not super fond of where this strap is going. If I use this, I would have to put some type of soft covering over it, padding on it. What do you think about it? And how would you use it with the leashes?
It would, again, depend on the dog whether or not I would use this. Obviously, it doesn't fit Grace very well. Again, you have the option of 1 leash or 2. If I was only going to use 1 leash, I would attach it on the front, or I would attach a second leash on the back, but I would not
Do you
attach
ever
it just
attach it on the front and then run it through? Like if you have room and you run it through to hold it, or that defeats the, it doesn't work then?
It actually is a good, I'm glad you said that. It's a good option for dogs who start biting on the leash. Say you're out on a walk and they suddenly decide to bite on the leash because it's in front of them, then you can do what you just said and string it through.
If I string it through, will I still have the front attach strength? Will it take away from that?
It will be a little different, but it's better than having the dog chew through your leash.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
There is no perfect situation.
No, rarely do we have perfect situations.
Okay, that's good. Anything else you want to show people?
No, I think that pretty much covers all the types that we have with us.
Okay, well,
today.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna, for spending time to show people.
I just want to see less shoulder and neck problems.
Right, which is why the rough wear is such a nice design. My dog can't wear this, for instance, because she has too small space between her front legs, and this part is too
there's
wide.
a lot of material here.
Yes.
You know, so it works for some, but not for others.
Yes, it's a great design, though, especially for minimizing any shoulder involvement.
Well, thank you guys so much. You know, with the proper harness fit, you guys can walk your dogs and not have any shoulder compression or low cervical compression, and that's what we're looking for. Thanks so much. Hey, subscribe and tell your friends and share. Bye. Yeah, so this point right here is, I'm worried that it's a little bit tight with the shoulder, although it's a lot better. Most of them are kind of right in here, or they're even here. That's the Wonder Walker's like here. And then he's gonna get some cervical spinal, he's gonna get some cervical tightness through here because of the way this is fit. But I like the way this is up on the top, and I like the way it is back here. Maybe if it was just padded with something thicker, yeah, we could try that and see. Okay, you guys, Grace and I want to say subscribe, and we want to say have a great day, and find a harness that fits your pet, that doesn't pull on the shoulder or the low cervical. Thanks so much.